This video is not directed at kids, it is intended for a mature audience only, and may contain the use of curse words such as shit, fuck, and goddammit. No children under the age of 13 should watch this video. So today, folks, we're going to be ranking the Doctor Who holiday specials. So this includes all of the Christmas specials, a couple of New Year's Day specials, an Easter special, and this is all from New Who, not including Classic Who, because there's not really much there, and this is entirely my opinion. You're not going to agree with my ranking probably because it's different from most people's, and also there are going to be spoilers in this ranking, and I won't waste any more of your time with that all established. Let's get started ranking 15 Doctor Who holiday specials. Honestly, The Doctor, The Widow, and The Wardrobe is just very uninteresting to me. I enjoy Matt Smith, but the kids aren't particularly great. No offense to the actors, you're just actors. And the story's not particularly interesting. For me, it's the lowest level of Christmas special. It's okay, it's not very fun. The Return of Dr. Mysterio is an episode I only recently rewatched, and it was pretty enjoyable. It was definitely better than the first time that I had seen it, but there was not a lot special to it. I really enjoy Capaldi in this, and I think it's kind of a fun little special, but it's pretty superfluous. Not a lot happens, and while I do have fun with it, there's not much to take away from it other than Capaldi being great as the Doctor. So this is the big jump up. Planet of the Dead is an enjoyable episode. It's not great, it's got a couple of issues, but it's fun. For the most part, the character here, whose name I can't quite remember, is enjoyable with the Doctor. And this bus of people, they're relatively well realized. Nothing great, not the best supporting cast, but it's pretty good. And I like the guy at Unit. And yeah, it's a fun little Easter episode. It's not great, but it's fun and I enjoyed it. The Next Doctor. This is a lot of fun. I love seeing this actor portray a sort of alternate version of the Doctor that is not really the Doctor, and I love him with Tennant and how they kind of discover what happened and the tragic backstory that he has. It's a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable. It can be a little goofy with the giant Cyberman, sure, but it's just a fun episode, and I do quite like it. I do really quite enjoy Christmas Carol. It's a very Christmassy episode, and I think it uses Christmas quite well. And, the supporting cast is good. Amy and Rory aren't really in this, but the Doctor is, and he's great in all of his scenes, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's surprisingly emotional towards its climax. This is honestly a pretty solid episode, and yeah, not much more to say. So, Tennant's first episode, and he's not really in it that much. He is in maybe 15 minutes or so, and some people take issue with that, but I really enjoy this one. I love when he does show up. As soon as he shows up, everything is gold, and he's got lots of great moments, and the stuff that he does with Harriet Jones, it's very cold. It's really great television. And the rest of it, it's, it can be goofy at times, but I find it to be a lot of fun, and I genuinely enjoy this story, and I think it is a good post-regeneration story, and a good Christmas special. The Runaway Bride. This one I don't see get a ton of love to, but I really enjoy it. I really like Donna in it. I really like her with the Doctor. I really like her discovering everything that's going on here. It's just a lot of fun. I love the dynamic, and I'm really glad that they brought Donna back for a full series later. Genuinely, this is just a ton of fun, and there are some surprisingly dark and well-handled moments towards the end that I really enjoy. The Snowmen. This is Clara's second episode, and this is really good. I really do like the setting of this episode. It's a lot of fun. It's just a lovely setting. I just adore it. And I really like Clara in this episode. She's a very interesting companion, and she's very clever, and she understands things, and she's a very smart person, and I really like that. And I also really like her dynamic, her chemistry with Matt Smith's Doctor, and they just have a lot of fun. It is a surprisingly emotional story towards the end. It gets a little rough, but it's really good, and I really think this is a underrated Christmas special. Honestly, you've just got some great stuff in Voyage of the Damned. You've got death after death after death, and it feels like there are stakes. You've got the Doctor's speech about being from Gallifrey, being 904 years old. You've got some emotional endings with Astrid, and just together a really enjoyable and emotional and high-stakes Christmas special, which is about the best thing that you can really ask for, I think, from a Christmas special, for it to be enjoyable and emotional and just feel like, yeah, that was an episode that mattered. It wasn't superfluous. Resolution. This is Jodie Whittaker's first special, and I really enjoyed this one. It's not perfect. There are a couple of aspects to this story that don't quite work. But barring those, there's a lot of gold in this. I love how the Dalek is handled. I love how it feels like it's a real legitimate threat. I love the scenes with the Dalek and Jodie, the Doctor, and there's some great stuff in here with Ryan and his dad, and it's really just a solid Dalek story. It's one of the best Dalek stories we've had in a while. And yeah, I'm really glad we got this episode because it portrayed the Daleks right. Last Christmas is super underrated. This is a really good episode. This is kind of the bridging point between Series 8 and Series 9, where not everything's fully resolved, and Clara and 12 aren't in the perfect place yet, but they're getting there, and they're going over things, and they're discussing that they lied, and also there's just some really beautiful scenes in this. When Clara is very old, that's such a beautiful scene. Danny Pink is better than he's ever been in this, for some reason. When he's not actually alive, he's better. And it's really just an underrated episode. It's got some really creepy stuff in it too, and it might mess with you a little bit too much, but I don't particularly mind getting messed with, so I really enjoy this story. The Time of the Doctor. If you've been keeping track, you might notice a running theme with these next three. So The Time of the Doctor, it's I love his last story, Matt's last story. I genuinely just, it's got kind of this fairy tale bedtime story vibe to it that I just really dig, and it's just really a nice way to end this Doctor's era. And it's got some really sad moments. I love all the stuff with the Doctor aging, and with Clara and the TARDIS and her leaving and coming back. It's just, it's sad, it's emotional, and the way that they give him more regenerations is simple. It's about the only way he could do it, I think. I probably would have done something similar if I was writing this episode. There's no great way to handle that because it's already written into the show that that shouldn't happen. So what are you really going to do about it? And I like how it's handled, and it's a beautiful way to end Smith's era, and I think this may just have my favorite regeneration scene. It's absolutely a really enjoyable, emotional episode. Twice Upon a Time. This was the first Doctor Who episode I saw in theaters, and I had a lot of fun doing so. I cried, and it was emotional, and I was very sad to see Peter Capaldi leave the role, but I really did enjoy this last special. It's simple, it's nothing too complicated. I like how it's handled. And at the end of the day, the Doctor finds out that it's not an evil plan, and I really like that because not everything is going to be. Some things are just, it's just going to be people doing good, and that's really cool. And I like how that is shown in his final story, where his message is to really be kind, that in his final story, he comes across something that is nothing bad. It is more about being kind. And there's some really beautiful stuff in here, and it is just a lot of fun seeing the first Doctor and the 12th Doctor together, and his regeneration is beautiful and sad, and I will miss him sorely. The Husband's Ever Song is a brilliant episode. It's so funny, it's so emotional, it's lovely. Capaldi is at his best, Alex Kingston is at her best. They're amazing together. I love seeing Capaldi pretending to not be the Doctor. I love his reaction when he enters the TARDIS. It's absolutely brilliant, so much fun. Absolutely one of the funniest episodes of Doctor Who in its entirety, and it is all brought together in the emotional finale with the Doctor and River. I cried rewatching that recently. It was so emotional and heartbreaking and absolutely lovely, and a beautiful way to end their story. It couldn't have been done better by myself. The End of Time, parts 1 and 2, because I figured it was easier to throw them together than to put them separately on this list, so sorry. I think this is a fantastic story. I reviewed it already, so if you saw that, you know I love this one. It's just so much amazing stuff in here. Beautiful way to end Russell T Davies' era and David Tennant's era. So many emotional goodbyes in this, and the Doctor himself regenerating. heartbreaking, and honestly just a absolutely fun adventure with the Time Lords coming back, the Master being absolutely insane, and just so much is right in this story, and I absolutely have a blast with it every single time. I love the cliffhanger of part 1, and part 2 is actually the better half of this, but they are both fantastic, and just there's so much good stuff. There's amazing scenes between Wilf and the Doctor, and just so much. I couldn't ever talk about all of it, but I love this. It's one of the best regeneration stories, if not the best, and I think it is the best holiday special, The End of Time Parts 1 and 2. So that's that. The Doctor Who holiday specials ranked. How would you rank the Doctor Who's holiday specials? Or what are some of your favorites? Or rank the Christmas specials? Whatever you want to do, let me know what you think about the Doctor Who holiday or Christmas specials down below. I would be happy to know your opinions. And with that said, I don't have anything more to say. We just entered December. This should be coming out December 1st. And lots of plans. I've got lots of videos going out this month, and I hope you enjoy them. And if you want to stick around and see more, then I would be happy for you to accompany me. But if not, just know that I appreciate your time here today. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. Take care and have a lovely week.